Ethiopian cuisine. So if you look in the background, I just had some lovely food at an Ethiopian restaurant in London. Well, I mean, it says Ethiopian, but then when you actually go in there, the woman, I believe she owns the restaurant, she speaks Tigrinya, which is the Eritrean national language. So, we had a good conversation. I told her about my trip to Eritrea. Some of the stuff I said to her was basically, "Oh, Assalam, kame alihi, kame wilki, kabe adi metsihi, Mirami demialuhu, kimzi dolhol gele delialuhu." And we had a very good conversation. I told her about my time in Eritrea. I told her about President Isaias Afwerki and different things. And we definitely had a good time. It was a very long conversation. We spoke about politics and economics. Spoke about the situation in Eritrea. And I'm really enjoying. I love talking about Eritrea. Obviously I had an extremely great time there. But, obviously I can't wait to go back in May. But for now, I just need to focus on, I'm very focused on having fights. I really want to have at least one fight next month. I might try and get some fights in for, what are we now, March 16th? So I think March is probably a little bit too soon. Also, when I say too soon, I don't mind fighting, but I've been asking around, I've been trying to get hold of people. There don't seem to be a lot of fights available in March, but it's fine. I'll fight in April. Probably have more than one fight in April. Then there's more stuff happening in June and so on. But yeah, things are going well. I'm feeling positive. I'm feeling quite good. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to pretend that Eritrea was perfect. So obviously that's the point of this video. So I'm going to call this video The Truth About Eritrea. So I'll tell you about some of the things in Eritrea, what I found, good stuff and bad stuff. Alright, let me see. Probably, where shall I start? Good or bad? Let's go with good. I'll go with some of the good stuff in Eritrea. Lovely weather, amazing weather. The weather's amazing, the food's pretty good as well. The food tastes very fresh, very, none of that genetic or none of that whatever stuff they put in the food over here. The weather and food's amazing. The people are generally good-natured. I'm not going to pretend as if it's perfect in Eritrea, it's not. So I am going to tell you some of the negative realities. But the people are generally very good-natured and friendly. So for example, say someone invites you to their house. There were so many times when I just randomly met people, I struck up a conversation, or either way, plenty of people would come up and talk to me as well. And a lot of the time people will invite you around their home, and I guarantee you 99.99% of the time, if you go to an Eritrean's home, if you visit them, they are going to feed you a good meal. So it's different from the UK. I'm not saying people won't feed you in the UK, but I guarantee if an Eritrean invites you round, they will treat guests very, very well. And I'm talking about a good home cooked food. If you've never eaten Eritrean food, I suggest you try. Where would I recommend in London? Try Adilis restaurant, the one in Oval. I go there from time to time. I've been there once this month, so I'm not really fussed. To be honest, I might just announce when I'm going to go there. The fans can all come and meet me if they want, because I have a lot of fans on social media. But anyway, conversation for another time. Yeah, sorry buddy, just had to watch out for that bike. Yeah, so Eritreans are generally friendly. I'm not saying everyone, but a lot of them are. What else did I find? Let me see. What are the other positives? Those are the main ones. The food's great, the weather's great, the people are generally positive and likable. What other positives? Plus, if you're going there, I haven't. The last time I was there I left My last holiday there was from June to November 2016. So it's a very different sort of country to get to know people. To get around and see a whole different country, it was a very different experience. I haven't been there in 6 years. So, it was a very interesting experience. So I think those are some of the main ones, some of the main positive things I'll say about people. As I say, people are generally very friendly. Like, a lot of people told me if a fight happens in public in Eritrea, which rarely happens, but if it did, people said that the general public, everyone's going to get involved and break up the fight. Whereas in the UK, most people are not going to do that. I've broken up fights in the UK before, and then when I told my friends actually criticised me. Oh, Michael, why are you getting involved in something that has nothing to do with you? I said, well, I'm just trying to help. I don't like seeing people get hurt, so people actually criticise me. So that's another good thing in Eritrea. What's another good thing? I think people are very, as I say, they respect, if you've come from a different country, they do hold foreign travellers in high regard. And with me, I can speak Tigrinya, but I think most people, just by looking at me, they can tell I'm from abroad. Never mind once I start talking. Because I can speak Tigrinya, but my accent is very clearly not, I'm clearly not someone that grew up in Eritrea. It takes, any Eritrean can tell that in about 5 seconds. So I would say, compared to people in the UK, from what they tell me, I'm not the sort of person to make things up. Eritreans in the UK tell me that I speak good Tigrinya. Eritreans in Eritrea tell me that it's very obvious though. It's very what they tell me in Eritrea. It's very obvious that I didn't grow up in the country. Very obvious. They can tell in a split second. Not even 5 seconds. Probably more like 0.5 seconds. That's how long it will take them to realise. Okay, this handsome-looking man grew up in a different country. So. But they're very welcoming. They do show guests a lot of respect. People would go out of their way to tell me, they'll show me around and they'll tell me about how things are like there. And I think that basically sums it up. I think those are the main good points. Let me get on to the bad points. There are some bad points, I have to be honest. So people will tell you about, let me see, what are the bad points in Eritrea? Politics is a very controversial subject. You can't really speak about politics in Eritrea. Let me see. Yeah, it's not really. You can, but it's difficult to sort of. You can't really speak negatively about the government. It can get you into trouble. Obviously, that's the same in a lot of countries. What other negatives? Internet was slow. Terribly slow. That's something I hope the government's going to work on. Obviously, I know there was a recent war going on. They were at war with Tigray, which is a region controlled by the TPLF political group. So I do realise they were recently at war. What else can I say? Negative points. Water. Water's not. Some neighbourhoods in Eritrea there's a low supply. So for example, taps don't supply water. Basically, the way you get water is that a big water truck will come round every once in a while, and you basically just get whatever buckets and whatever you have, use it to fill up. You basically use it to top up your water supplies at home. I don't like to lie. Electricity will come and go. I think pretty much literally every day. I stayed in an area called Godife, and to tell you the truth, electricity will literally, it would be off for a few hours every day. So I think water and electricity are two of the biggest problems. And there are other problems. Obviously, if you're from abroad, people basically think you're rich. So obviously a lot of people will ask you for money, and I had a lot of people asking me. I was there for quite a while, and at first I was much more polite, but after a while I started becoming very short with people, was much more direct. So whereas at first I would try to be polite, after a while, I don't want to lie, I want to keep it 100% honest. I'll just be much more direct in talking to people. And when people would say, oh, I'm having financial problems with such and such, I tell them, well, obviously, that's not really my fault. I said, well, go get a job. Oh, but there's no jobs available. I said, well, listen, I don't know. I said, go talk to the government, work your way up, become the Minister of Finance or something, sort yourselves out, but stop asking me for money all the time. So I don't want to lie, but I mean, if you were there, you'd understand. I can speak the language, but when you're getting people following you around, trying to ask you for money, I thought, okay, being polite is not going to work all the time, so sometimes you have to speak more directly. So yeah, I think those are some of the main points. What else? You do have a lot of dogs just sort of walking around Eritrea, just haven't really got owners, haven't got anyone keeping track of them. Fortunately, the dogs seem to be, what's a good word? They don't seem to be dangerous. But I remember once, I tried once. One of the wild dogs was walking around. One time I stroked one of them, and the dog seemed okay with it. A different day, I tried to stroke one of the dogs, and he didn't like that very much. He was barking at me. I thought, I'm just glad he never bit me. That was a bit silly, so I thought I'm not going to do that again. So yeah, there are a lot of dogs just sort of crawling around. The level of English in Eritrea is not very good, so I was teaching English there, so that's something I want to continue the next time I go. But all in all, I had a really good time. I really enjoyed my time in Eritrea, and I can't wait to go back. I've been as honest as I could be about what I experienced there. It is a bit of a basic video. When I say basic, it's sort of just I haven't really gone in depth. I'm gonna go back in May. I'm gonna do some very in-depth documentaries, and I would appreciate if people watch it. And I forgot the other major point. Soldiers. You do get a lot of armed soldiers walking around Eritrea. You don't really see a lot of police walking around, but you do see armed soldiers walking around. And because I'm from abroad, they didn't really bother me. But something I've read about, been told about, is that people there, they have to do national service, they have to do military training. So that's something I personally don't mind doing, which I do genuinely want to do. But I suppose a lot of some people there are not keen on national service. For whatever reason, I hear different explanations. Some people say they don't like national service because of the lack of money. So they want to flee abroad, go to different countries, make more money there. Some people say national service at Sawa or some of the other military camps. They say the military service / national service goes on for a very long time. So, I saw a lot there. And, I don't know, it's a difficult situation. I would love to see things change for the better in Eritrea. I know the government have said they've got a lot of plans and initiatives. Some of these plans have been delayed by the unfortunate war. But, listen, I wish the Eritrean government all the best. I have nothing but admiration for the Eritrean people. And, I hope they can all make a better future for the country. And I would love to do everything I can within my power to help do that. I'm 32 now. I don't feel as if I haven't achieved my potential in life. I've made a lot of mistakes in life. And, perhaps Eritrea will give me the opportunity to finally become very successful in life. Look, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. So I finished secondary school. GCSEs were easy for me. I got A for English, A for History, B for, what else? B for GMVQ ICT, C for Science, C for Maths. What did I get for RE? RE was a B. I mean, I wanted an A, but I was never really religious. And some of the other subjects, maths, I never liked maths, I never tried hard. So I'm 32 now, so I finished secondary school. I went to college for about a month or so, I dropped out. And that was one of the biggest mistakes of my life. So I've never finished college and I've never finished university, but I'm definitely going to do so. So, I mean, look, to be honest, I've underachieved in life. I'm not going to deny that. I've made loads of mistakes, and ultimately, maybe Eritrea is going to be my great opportunity to make a success out of my life. There's so much potential there. There's so much I want to do. I really want to change Eritrea for the better, which is not going to be easy, but I'm going to do everything I can. I hope people in Eritrea believe in me, and I hope I get support. But I mean, this video, maybe I'm rambling on a bit, but I'm a deeper person than people think I am. People think I'm all about boxing. I'm not. Boxing just a sport that I do, but there's much more to life. And if I had to give boxing up, I would. If I had to choose between Eritrea and boxing, I'd give boxing up in a heartbeat. I assume I'm never going to have to make that choice, but if I did, there could only be one winner, because there's millions of people in Eritrea, and I don't want to sound silly or arrogant, or I don't want anyone watching this to think that I think I'm more important than I actually am, because I'm not. If you know me, I respect people. I have lots of goals and ambitions, and there's things that I want to do in life, but I don't look down on people. I understand that people in different countries may not have had the opportunities I have had in life, and they may not have had the opportunity to pursue an education whereas I had. But being a very foolish, immature person at the age of 16, 17, I mean, I'm 32 now. I mean, remembering the person I was back then, I was a decent kid, but I was just, I had no drive, I had no desire to continue education, which was an extremely foolish mistake. Looking back on it now, I regret it. But ultimately, I'm a very optimistic person, and I'm a very positive person. In life, just accept yourself what you are, accept your mistakes, but you have to keep going. You can't let it stop you. And there's so much I want to do for Eritrea, and there's so much I want to do for the UK as well. So, but this video is probably rambling on quite a bit. I hope I'm not boring anybody, and I'm definitely going to do more videos. Probably do a video. I mean, this video's gone on to 18 minutes. I'm gonna probably do a video today, which is more 8-9 minutes, much more direct. So yeah, I'll probably leave it there for now. But I'll do more videos. Take care, everyone.